Yeah.
You know what I mean? I grew up way different than you.
Right.
And you don't understand it right now. But if you listen, but I was still me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like David Jackson, OG 31. Kind of like family. Him and my dad go way back. Way back. And from California, because he's from LA. My dad, he's from Compton, and like, so pretty much, when my dad was incarcerated, me and my family used to go over his house all the time. Like him and his sons were cousins. I lived with them for a minute after I moved out of my parents' house. So yeah, so
you getting deep. We ain't even introduce our guest today, bro. You already going into the weeds. We ain't even introduce our guest today. Come on, bro. We gonna get deep in a minute. We gonna get deep. On that note, welcome to Four Black Dads, man. Yeah. Y'all know what it is. Four Black Dads. I'm one of your hosts, G Wade.
This is Eric, the Deacon of Sneaking Island.
I'm Ikes.
And today, Ikes, you got to introduce this guest. I'm not going to introduce this guest.
Today we got me when I'm older, I guess. Got an older me. Got my dad. He like 75. He looked like he like 74, but yeah, it's my dad, Willie Chambers.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna today. We got my guy Willie Chambers in the building.
Yeah. You can just call me WK or either Will K. That's kind of what I go by.
Right on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Will K from LA, but Will K.
Will K from LA.
Yeah.
That's how he pulled my mom. He's like, yo, I'm Will. He came licking. He's like, yo, I'm Will K from LA. What's going on?
Yeah.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
No, first question is, when did you come to Portland?
First time, that was back in the 70s.
Just on the trip. How long you stayed?
I came because my brother, my younger brother under me, went to Portland State University.
Quarterback, first black quarterback for the Portland State University.
Okay.
Yeah, and came for his wedding and such, and that was kind of my intro to what was the infamous Rose City.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's the withering Rose City. But,
it's going a different way.
Oh, it withered.
The fentanyl Rose City.
I think it's different. I don't know. I think it's still growing.
Oh, it's growing, but
it's a different climate.
Yeah.
I mean, I came here from Arkansas in '82. I was 8 years old.
I wasn't even born.
Yeah, I was 8 years old. So it was a whole Portland, Rose City was totally different.
Okay. White people?
Different. No, I mean, white folks always been here. You know what I'm saying? But there was a sense of it wasn't that expensive to live here. You know, I would always go home and tell folks like, you know, this ain't so bad. You know what I'm saying? Is you can actually afford to live here. It's a little bit more opportunities than, you know, you would see in the South and some of these smaller country towns. So that was always good. But, you know, as you look back over the years now, it's like, I don't know. I mean, the community, we was all in Northeast. There was more of, you know, you knew who your neighbor was. You know, you could go out amongst the community and, you know, if you showing out around the corner, somebody go know that, you know, hey, I go to church with your folks, or I know Mr. Pete.
What part of Portland did you pull up into when you came here?
When I came up, first I was on Northeast 24th and Killingsworth. I had a set of cousins that lived over there. When my mom finally was able to get our own place, we started off right there on 7th. And Alberta. Where's the police station at now? Is that Killingsworth or Alberta?
Alberta.
Alberta.
Okay, Alberta.
Killingsworth.
Okay. And so I used to go to Geneva's right there to get my hair cut and stuff. And so that was our little circle, you know, in that little.
Shout out Paul Knowles.
Yeah. Mayor in Geneva used to be in there
You know
clean.
that's still black owned.
Yeah.
It's not Geneva's. You can't get your hair cut no more. But you could definitely go to Joe Brown's Lounge and get some good food, and then you got Joe Brown's popcorn right next door. I'm telling you,
for sure.
One thing about the president, and I don't call him the mayor. I call him the president of Portland. Mr. Knowles is a staple of this community.
They call him
he the president.
Mayor.
They call him the mayor. I call him the president.
Oh, okay.
He the whole president of Portland.
Okay.
The rest of it is the rest of it. To me, he the president of Portland. His community is his community. As you get older, it's only so much that you can do. One thing he wanted to make sure he did was continue to have his community the way it's supposed to be.
The legacy.
The legacy. I'm going to leave it. And I'm going to leave it to somebody else. Black. It's going to stay black owned. We're not going to move this part and sell it off and let them developers come in and gentrify it and turn it into something different. This is something that I built. I had no choice but to build it because nobody else was building it. Right? Even though it's not a barbershop no more, it's not a place where you can get your hair done. Now it's a place where you can get some good food and you get some good popcorn. And we do shows there and you know what I mean? Like,
especially that particular piece of real estate, you could have flipped it a whole lot of different ways. Many folks would have paid several million.
He could have made a few millions off of that lot. Just a lot alone.
He owned that lot?
Yeah, he bought the lot alone. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yeah. He was one of probably the pioneers that really stuck to the legacy of the 70s or the 60s even. And that was one of the things when I was in Los Angeles, Compton primarily, but Los Angeles, when you talked about Oregon or Portland specifically, Portland was, we looked at from California, very progressive. And they were progressive. Their education system was cool. That's why a lot of African Americans came here. Some of their policies, procedures, land use, and all that, they were very forward and progressive. Where now it's totally different. Like my brother was saying, that it's almost like there's a regression that has happened, even though we have, and we do in Oregon, Portland specifically, we have a movement happening where in Oregon you have 4 black mayors. And if I was to ask any of you, do you know we have 4 black mayors in Oregon?
Oregon?
Yeah, Oregon.
No, I don't know that.
We got 4 black mayors in Oregon. One of them's in Gresham.
Black.
Yeah, one is Gresham, but we got one in Clackamas County. We got one further up, going back south, is for that lumber. When you ride I-5, you just smell that lumber.
Yeah,
I forget what it is, but yeah. So it's moving in a direction, but a lot of it is kind of like you said with the official governor of Portland. He wanted to make sure that there was a legacy left.
Yeah, even
though East County gentrification from
Whole Foods moved in, man.
Oh yeah.
Once Whole Foods move in, that's your community no more. It belongs to it belongs to Whole Foods people. Angry white women and dudes with man buns with yoga mats.
Chad. My name is Chad. So what are you doing here?
Subarus everywhere.
I'm gonna throw this out there since we on that subject. Considering you come from Compton and you've had that experience, you've been able to see the evolution of Compton to where it was, where it is now, and then talking about Portland. If you had some thoughts or ideas as of today, what would be some things that you think Portland or things we should be getting back to when you say regression, getting back to being progressive, or what things do you think either hurt us going this way, or what things do you think we should be doing to better ourselves moving forward?
That's an interesting conversation because my brother that came here in the 70s, we talk about that a lot. Some of it is when I came here in the 70s. Are you guys familiar with One Stop?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
okay.
The record. Yeah.
Okay, and see, when I say it, it pulls you back into a time and space that today, you say to most of those young folks, One Stop, don't know anything about it. But it was the One Stop. It was the same with, there was a sister right on the same corner where the police station was, Gloria, and had a bookstore there. I'm trying to remember the name.
Oh, yeah, I remember that bookstore.
Kerry, it's been a while. So some of it is we've lost here in Portland. We've lost the legacy of the history, even though they're bringing it up. You have people like Cleo Davis, his wife, who are historians. and they do a lot of the historical context of it. But because of what we see today, and I remember when I met this one brother, he a Muslim, matter of fact, Imam Shabazz, Akel Shabazz.
Shout out to my
Okay. He told me this is how you know when your city has been, or your community has been gentrified. And as he was telling me, that's shortly after I got out of the pen, he was telling me, you see young white females with a carriage and their dog. And as he was saying it, we were on the bus. One come running by with a dog and her baby.
That's how it is in Harlem.
And it was like, whoa. And that is usually the telltale signs, or you can see the early stages of gentrification.
Yeah.
And then you wonder, well, how did this happen? Well, some of it is
red light
finance. You know,
it's the Cameron Diaz effect.
No, you mean
when Cameron Diaz bought a house in California in the hood, and you know what happened after that? A whole bunch of other people start buying. A whole bunch of other people start buying houses in the hood, and then everybody who was there just got pushed out.
Yep,
they rule them out. So you got Cameron Diaz who says, you know what? It's not that bad. It's just some black folks over here, and everything is gonna be good. I'm gonna come into this neighborhood, and I'm gonna do my thing, and I'm gonna buy a house over here. And then next thing you know, oh, now I'm gonna complain and complain and complain because I don't feel safe in this house that I just bought.
Yeah.
You have money to buy a house somewhere else. Why do you have to do it right here and then complain about the things that's going on around you?
Because I mean, most of the areas like you see North Portland is prime real estate because it's right by downtown. It's right by the water. You get all that area is up and coming and flourishing. It's like downtown Vancouver. If you've ever been to Vancouver now, crazy out there.
It is.
Real estate is crazy out there. Like you can get like, I remember being in Vancouver in 2008. Nothing out there but homeless people and transit center. Now it's a bunch of white people just walking around. They do all their car shows. They do a bunch of things. But before that, a lot of it is just like systematic red lighting. Really, that's all it is.
Portland is one good thing that Portland had, not good thing, but one thing that they have been good at is the red lighting situation, right? And not to say that it's a good thing that they've done it, but they've been good at doing that to keep Portland the way it is, to keep Portland in check.
Weird.
So you know what I mean? And so what they did was the red lighting, oh yeah, y'all stay over there. I grew up in North Portland. I grew up in the Tamaracks, right? Which was like the projects of Portland, right next to the Villa.
Who's in the Villa now though? Do you see in the Ville now?
Okay, but now you know how that happened, though.
I know how it happened, but that's
redlining these contracts.
Crazy.
So what happens is say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do low income housing, and I got a 20-year contract with you, 25-year contract. I don't know how long the contract was, but I got a contract with you, right? And so as soon as the contract up, I don't have to do that anymore. My low income housing, I just own this property. And so what they did with the Villa was, as soon as that contract was up, guess what they did? They started selling the Villa.
Yeah.
In a place where it was low income housing. All you seen was everybody who was poor that came to Portland, they put them there. So I have friends who from all different walks of life.
Africa, there's a hell of Africans out there,
I did not know Portland was this white because I was a kid and I was in this realm. Like, I didn't leave the Tamaracks, the Villa. I didn't leave the North when I was a kid until I was in this tag program and they shipped me out to this white school and I was like, damn, me and my homeboy Billy, he was like Ocean and shit. Me and Billy was like, well, what the hell is going on over here? We just happen to be smart kids in our class.
Right.
And now we in this sea of white people. And we're like, what the fuck is going on? This is what Portland really looks like? And it really is what Portland looks like.
Was that the first time you sold drugs to a white person? A white person named Jimmy? He's like, hey, black guy, you got any cocaine?
Why are you bringing up old shit? Let me live.
But you know,
forgive me, you didn't die on the cross.
Right. But we've had this story. We know what that story is. We've seen it so many times over and over again. I guess I was just asking the OG from his perspective because where I am in this journey is like, you know, I've been where y'all are and then I'm right here in this middle. I lost my dad like 13 years ago and that was kind of like the only person that I really felt like from an older perspective or a male whose opinion I genuinely took on face value because I knew he didn't have anything else but my good intentions, so it's hard to find that voice because, everybody got their, stuff and, but I'm always open to sound reasons. So I was just curious from your journey and where you are in your life looking back, like, what do we need to do to get back? Because, that train done left. The hood is already gentrified. But if we go build our wealth and start moving back to, our kids and grandkids and future great grandkids having that wealth and building that community, what do you think the trajectory should be?
Well, clearly, I think it's not too late, but let's be realistic. Everybody can't move back to North and Northeast.
Right.
Okay. I mean, realistically.
Too expensive.
Expensive, as well as they're pretty much settled wherever they're at. And East County is where I have relocated years ago.
Gresham numbers.
Yeah, the numbers, Rockwood, and everything. And
I'm in Gresham myself.
Oh, really? Where at?
Just off 223rd, right up Eastman Parkway.
Oh, really? We're not too far. Let me check. But for instance, you know where the downtown Rockwood is?
Yeah.
Okay. That has been a vision for the last 10 plus years. Okay. Now, the challenge is this. What part are we, are people of color? Because Rockwood, Gresham, Rockwood is a community of 88 cultures, ethnicity, and languages. 88. But 10 years from now, what is it going to be? 5, 10 languages, ethnicities, and everything else is kind of like what happened in North and Northeast.
I think it's going to be Mexicans.
Well,
Mexicans be everywhere, bro.
And to be truthful,
100% in America.
Shout out to my Mexican homies.
I love Mexicans.
Yeah, but but what he's saying is true. We don't even consider them when you say the 88 because they're dominant and they've been dominant in there. We're talking about the Africans.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, we're talking about not necessarily the Asian. We're talking about the Samoans. We're talking about a diverse of Black and brown folks that the Latinos, Mexicans, Salvadorians, and all that. Hey, they all over the planet.
Yeah,
at least on the West Coast.
Everywhere. They're everywhere but Canada. But they'll be there soon.
Well, they're probably there. You just ain't heard about it. Well, it's the same in Compton. Compton used to be, at one point, straight out of Compton was the Bushes. The Bushes used to live in Compton. You most folks don't know that. The Bushes literally used to live in Compton.
That's crazy.
Oh, they lived in Compton.
Like the Bushes.
The George Bush, and the three sons lived in Compton.
Wait, is that why George Bush is so stupid? Because he had the California education, he had the LA education.
Well, he
can't
kind of
speak English right.
But I'm saying that to say every community kind of goes through that genesis of you have the poor whites or the white population, then the Blacks come in, and then the Latinos, Hispanics come in. And what you see here in Oregon, some of the laws are still on the books.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's a challenge. But to kind of get back to your question, opportunities are still there in North and Northeast. It's there. I mean, it's anywhere on the planet. Okay, if there's a crisis, there's opportunity. Okay, but Rockwood, for many of us, and me as well, we're targeting, okay, we need housing, but in Rockwood, there's not a whole lot of space for housing. So the next best thing is we need business property. So that's what we've been doing the last 8 to 10 years, is saying, how do we own business property? So when and slowly, if things begin to change, they can't force you out because you're a leasee or a renter.
Right.
If you're an owner, you can make a decision. Okay, I'll sell mine for $2.3 million. Okay. But you're not going to price me out because you raised my rent $2,000.
Facts.
I'm an owner.
It happens all
And that's
the time.
what we need to do.
Yeah.
We need to own property.
This is probably going to be an unpopular thing, but I had a debate years ago, and I always discussed segregation versus, our freedom, so to speak. And it seemed like segregation, as unpopular as it was kind of a built-in infrastructure for Black people to be able to funnel resources, and because we couldn't do business with nobody else but each other. How do we fund resources now as a collective when everybody is wide open?
Well, this has been the history of the United States. Is yes, segregation. I believe that we should have our own community and we should be building with each other, right? Mm. But every time we get too big, white people don't like it. They get scared. And so guess what they do? They bomb it, they blow it up, they find ways to infiltrate it and find ways to bring it down, bring us against each other. And so that's why our neighborhoods look the way that they look. It's not because people weren't trying to progress, but every time they did, somebody came in and said, you know what? This is getting too big.
These niggas are getting too powerful.
It's getting too strong.
So, but then
we have to be strong enough to fight that off.
That's what I'm saying. So it's going to have to be something that, what I say in my mind is there's going to have to be a moral and a internal change or shift in us as a people. Like, we can't be marching so hard from the police killing us if we ain't marching that hard from us killing us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I know it ain't necessarily the same thing, but it's still a shift in our compass, in our spirit as a people, that I gotta value your life just as much as I value mine, which means I value you in the community as much as I value myself in the community, because I need you here to accomplish the goal. You know what I'm saying? And you need me here to accomplish the goal. You see what I'm saying? So I know King was able to tap into that, but he ain't the be all end all, and he ain't here no more. So we got to keep moving. So how do we get there?
I definitely got to answer how we get there. Like, for real.
Not some pussy, man.
Nah, not some pussy. Just a white woman. Get a white woman, and then have them march down the street for everything black. But you kind of do gotta give her some dick first. But
every time,
Forrest Gump, bro. Forrest Gump taught me that. Well, that's what I learned from Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump taught you what? Get white women to fight for you. You'll be okay.
Yep. Get a white woman named Jenny. You be fine.
Jenny.
Run, Forrest, run. She saved him. She saved him when he was young, and she was trying to save him.
And he saved her when she got older.
Jenny was bad. He kept coming back.
But here's the other thing.
Bad.
Nah, but
Jenny was a headache. I would not have dated Jenny if I was Forrest Gump. She did him dirty, bro.
Countless times.
Well,
and he was special ed too.
She wasn't cool, bro. Jenny wasn't cool.
Not at all.
Well, but Jenny was lost like most of the folks on the planet was.
Yeah, drugs.
She was lost, and especially the hippie days and such. I mean,
how was the hippie days? Because I seen a bunch of pictures of my dad. Yeah, this dude had an afro. He looked like Snoop. He like if Snoop Dogg was like. He just looked like if Snoop Dogg was Snoop Dogg back in the set. Like, that's what my dad looked like. And I'm like, Dad, you definitely did some drugs back in this picture. You was definitely on something.
I did drugs just as much as anybody else. Now, going back to a possible topic that the one drug that I did that I was warned never to do it wasn't a big run. But it was a run enough to, if I were to continue, clearly I wouldn't be sitting here today, and he wouldn't be here. He wouldn't. It was angel dust.
Okay, sure.
Oh, it was the dust.
The dust.
He said the dust.
It was the dust. And I was in music and everything, but after the group got finished singing or practicing, we were sitting in there smoking some angel dust. And I don't know what happened.
I ain't never heard this story before, guys. I'm telling my mama.
I just went out, and in this, me going out, and I think it was something spiritual, and I do think it was something spiritual. Yeah. I was told by a light, don't ever touch that stuff again.
Do you remember age you was at?
Well, it had to be between my 17th, 18th, 19th, 16th. You know,
dang, 16?
I was young enough.
Dang.
Yeah,
out there.
But anyway, that was the last time I ever touched that. Thank the light that he didn't tell me don't touch marijuana or pot. Because I was smoking it a little further after that. But that was it. That was kind of like Sherm or whatever, one of those things that you continue here. You're not gonna be on the planet.
That's an intense drug. Angel, like that's intense. I've never done it myself, but I've watched people do it. I had a friend who did it once, and he was so high he kept jumping in the middle of the street, showing cars his ass, and then trying to jump out the way before they hit him. And one car just hit his ass. It wasn't hard, but he fell on his face.
It wasn't hard.
I mean, they just right a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like knocked him
smack right on his face. Motherfucker broke his nose. I was all messed up, and you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We called the ambulance, like, bro. But he was just high on angel dust. Yeah, but he never stopped it.
You look up here and you hear about these drugs being made out of chemicals like embalming fluid. I mean, just that was the extreme of those drugs. To be truthful, no different than almost today with a lot of the stuff that's killing folks.
Yeah,
right.
Today,
yeah,
right.
It's just 2023 drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
I always say
high on something new.
Hey, they don't make us like they used to. You know what I'm saying? Each generation, I think we just get just a little bit softer.
Even with weed though, like weed is 200%. Yo, there's like outdoor and indoor weed is ridiculous, bro. You can go on a psychosis trip from weed, and they've done studies on it where it says that weed, like certain weed can cause like psychosis, and also the thing Joe Biden got, dementia. That's what it is. Yeah.
Well,
so
I mean, y'all trying to forget, I guess.
No,
well, it's science now. The weed is science. They making that shit in labs.
It is
because
you're crossbreeding. It's like animals. You crossbreed an animal, you get a pig and something else, and then it tastes better. That's what they do with everything.
It's GMO weed. Okay.
Genetically modified.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Yeah, it's not the same.
Oh, it's no, it's not.
Not the same.
It don't even smell the same. Interesting enough, I haven't literally voluntarily smoked a joint or whatever a blunt, whatever.
Did you do it on accident? What happened?
No, well, no. Let me since since 76, 77.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
I mean, because there were inward change. I became a believer, Christian.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the only time I had to smoke it is the 2 times was when I was locked down. Okay, you in the pen. You gonna do holler at everybody stop smoking marijuana?
Nah.
Okay, I wasn't running from it.
Right.
I ain't had this in 35 years. 35 years.
Crazy. So you stopped smoking weed on the streets and then got into prison and was like, I have to smell this weed.
Well, I had to.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna need to stop breathing for so long.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. And but the second time after that is when we did a concert. I was a videographer at a concert in Eugene, and it was Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, and such.
Yeah.
And I was a videographer, so I was on stage. And be clear, I did not run off the stage when the smoke was coming. Oh no, I can't. There was a contact.
Yeah.
And, Snoop, okay.
Anything you do, there's gonna be a lot of weed involved.
So, but saying that to say this, I gave it up, but there was that forced environmental thing, or at least in prison. Now, I could have got off stage or whatever, but I didn't.
No, why?
Well, I mean, I was doing something.
Yeah.
So that was the last time that I did that. But I'm more concerned today with our kids, our youth, our kids, grandkids, and even their kids. What is the next phase for them as a father or a grandfather to deal with that?
I think it depends. It depends on who they have in their life and who's coaching them and who's bringing them up to respect themselves and love themselves, right? I think at the end of the day, when I was a young person doing what I was doing, I was, like one thing about drugs for me is I always been afraid of them. So instead of using them, I sold them.
Okay.
As a kid, I always been afraid to do
that
them.
out.
No, it doesn't matter. Statute of limitations up. I was 14, 15. Whatever. I'm a grown man
Feds
now.
is listening always.
They always listen. They doing what they doing. One thing I did learn though is I had a friend of mine. Like I was also I was a weird kind of little drug dealer though, because I used to like talk to the crackheads. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
Like I wanted to get to know you if I sold you crack.
No.
Like
Hey, listen, you ain't undercover.
yeah, I know you now. I remember I had this older lady. She was cool, but we was talking one day. And I was like, well, what kind of other drugs have you did? Like, you know what I mean? For me, I just wanted to know.
See what type of product I
And
can
she
get.
was like, this is what I do. I do
Upsell.
cocaine. I smoke crack. I do what I do. And I said, what won't you do? She said, it's one drug I won't do. I tried it one time and I liked it too much. And I realized if I continued to do it, I was going to die doing it.
Right.
And it was heroin.
Right.
The same thing my dad overdosed on. And I think that's another reason why I got into it too, because I was like, hey, everybody gonna do it. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't until I got older that I realized I was just trying to get back at my dad in a way and make money doing it, because he died of heroin overdose when I was 13 years old. So at that point, I'm like, well, fuck it, to the wolves, right? In my brain, that 13-year-old brain, and didn't understand until I became an adult. You're doing something stupid, bro. You're actually destroying the people around you.
How old were you when he died?
13.
13.
Yeah.
Just finding yourself.
Yeah.
Coming into you, you know what I'm saying?
It wasn't like he was there before that, but
that was actually the age my dad got out of being incarcerated, around when I was 13.
That's your Jesus year.
Jesus year.
Jesus left home at 13, bro. He told his mama, leave me alone. I'm on my father's business. And he went about, and then he come back to he was 30. That was your Jesus year, bro.
I can't imagine, yo. I can't imagine leaving home at 13. It would have been crazy as hell.
I tell my kids all the time, as soon as they hit 13, you want to go do what you want to do? Go ahead. You know what you got here. Jesus left home at 13. My daughter looked at me and said, Daddy, we're not Jesus. I said, okay, if you understand that, then won't you listen to the rules of the house? Let's be peaceful.
Yeah, but some of it, he got left behind, and they came back and got him.
They forgot about him pretty much.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And you know what he was doing? He was hanging out with the OGs.
Yeah, with the doctors.
Hey, shooting shit and talking spit.
That's
he was doing what he was doing.
Yep.
Turning water to wine.
Yeah, crazy.
You got that power?
That was a little bit later.
One of my sons is 13, and it's almost that. Like he'd be like, Dad, can I go outside and go walk around the block? And I'm like, no, you don't know this neighborhood like that. He's like, I'll figure it out. And I'm like, all right. And then now he's taking the bus to basketball practice, taking the Max to basketball practice. And I'm like, you can't stop your kids from growing up, and you can't be like, yo, you can't see that, because there's a lot of things that if you shield them from. This is the thing. I tell most people, I was very shielded as a child.
Yeah.
My mom was like, you can't go here, you can't go there.
Yeah.
And you know what I did? I went there and I went here. My grandma used to call my mom, be like, yo, I seen these kids over here at Slauson Swap Meet. And we was, and then my mom was like, was you over there at Slauson Swap Meet? I was like, no, we was over there by Slauson Swap Meet. My grandma saw us too. And she was sitting on the porch the whole day. How you see us from sitting on your porch?
That was parent eyes.
She had binoculars, bro. She had binoculars.
Well, back in the day, though, older people used to talk to each other. Right now, we so disconnected.
Yeah.
That even if my kids are out there and they doing whatever they doing in the neighborhood, we're so disconnected that nobody's going to call me and tell me that they see my kids doing something
after the fact,
until after it's already done. I'm gonna hear a day later or whatever. And it's weird because we got all this technology right now.
Right.
Like we have never been this connected with people ever
around the world.
Around the world.
But also,
we're not connected at home.
Right.
But also that's what I was telling people about that. Like, you could take face value over somebody that says something on the internet more than the person that's sitting in front of you.
That's true.
Because I was talking to this female about this. I was like, nobody that's in front of you, nobody on the phone at that moment with that person, it should be more important than what's in front of you at that moment. And I feel like that's me telling me that as a father too. My kids, what do my kids see me do when I'm at the home chilling with them? And this is me speaking to myself about like being more attentive as a father and what they pick up and what they see.
Right.
Because there's no knock on Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B. I don't want my daughter to be Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B when they grow up. And even if you go ask them, I'm pretty sure they're gonna say the same thing. They want their kids to live a normal life. But what's normalcy in the world of technology? Technology, that's normal. That's normal. That's our normalcy right now. and you can't control. You can control what your kids see up to a degree, but you can't stop them from going out there and exploring it in themselves. And I see the whole prodigal son thing. It's like, yeah, he goes out there, but he experienced it, and he saw that he did not like what he saw, and he came back to his father, and his father welcomed him with open arms. That's a father I'm trying to be to my kids, because I've been there before, and it's like, yo, this, like, I'm going through it right now. This like, you find out that not every love that you go out and seek is love that you want.
Facts.
And that because you don't want everybody to love you, because everybody that love you, they going down different paths. They going different directions. You could be like, you could fall in love with Jenny, and it'd be like Forrest Gump. And then you hurt your whole life about Jenny. And Jenny over here having sex with all the Black Panthers.
Not Huey. Okay, don't do that to me.
Jenny is in a whole black porno. And Forrest Gump is right there like, anytime you want to come home, baby.
Boogie Nights.
All right, leave Forrest alone, because he did have a brother that made him millions.
Yeah, Bubba.
Okay,
but
He ain't never seen an apple, though. He said, in fact, I gave money to this apple thing, but I ain't never seen one. Nobody dropped no apples on my porch or nothing.
So, but that being said, it's like, when you go out into the world and you go out and search, you gonna find whatever you search for, because that's just how the world works. And this is what I'm coming to find out, being newly divorced, that if I go out and search for women, I'm gonna find women.
Oh, they're gonna, yeah.
And especially being a comedian. That's why now people like this. Somebody asked me the other day. They was like, "So you gonna have any more kids? You plan on having sex?" No, I'm waiting until I get married. That's what I'm gonna tell people from now on. I'm waiting for marriage to have sex again, because it's a lot. As a Sagittarius man, and a man that operated with a lot of emotions, because I didn't know how to deal with my emotions growing up.
That's what a Sagittarius mean?
Yeah, we're pretty emotional people, and people don't know that we're sensitive too.
Okay, I thought y'all was just Leos with aim.
No, nope.
No, okay.
No, and when he say and some of this I had to learn when I get out the prison, and I did. He was very sensitive. Much more sensitive than my other two sons, but he was very sensitive. But he said something that really stuck out to me that was true, because of how my wife, especially with me not there for almost 13 years, she really had to contain them. And she was very, just kind of personality is such, but she was very restrictive in keeping them pretty much safe.
Yeah.
Based on her perception.
Yeah.
And so when I got out, and I kind of knew that they were restrained because of her personality and such, but too, when I got out and then I was there and everything, I kind of pushed her back and said, "Relax, honey, I'll deal with it." But I opened up the floodgates.
Yeah.
Because I'm a male, and I understood.
Yeah.
And man, those little 3 Negroes.
You got to learn who they were.
I had to learn. Oh, no, we need to put some respect.
You're not wrong.
I'm serious.
Like, for real.
Yeah.
Oh,
We don't
yeah.
die, we multiply.
Because the thing about it is this, like, okay, so I tell people this. When my mom worked 2 jobs, and my older brother and me and my older brother and younger brother raised each other while mom was at work.
Mm-hmm.
So we was at home most of the time. TV raised us. And my brother Joshua, he was there, but he wasn't a dad. He didn't know how to be a dad. He was only 5 years older than me.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like, okay, when my mom came home, it was like, all right, now X, Y, and Z, do this, this, and this. And my mom used to clean up. She'd come home, clean up. We didn't have to do nothing as kids, really. So when my dad got out, I remember this is the one moment that I remember when my dad got out. I was washing dishes, and all the dishes was dirty, pretty much. And he was like, what y'all been doing this whole time I've been in prison? Nothing. Like we was learning, yo. We was
he
learning.
Came out with prison standard clean.
Yeah,
He didn't come out with no regular
exactly.
clean. Like,
nothing.
bro, what are you doing?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's one moment where I remember, like, I remember when he the first day he got out of prison. I remember the first day he got out of prison. Everybody was in the car crying, and I didn't know what to do. Because I bury my emotions, like I still do to this day. Sometimes bury them. And when he got out, I was like, "Nigga, what everybody crying for? He out, he free." But everybody crying because he out and free.
Matter of fact,
They happy tears.
They didn't even know I was getting out.
Nope. Nobody
knew but my wife.
I was like, Dad, you supposed to be out here?
Because usually we go through the visiting room and stuff, or they went through the visiting room. So when I got out that day, we literally walked out together through the process that they come in for. And they're kind of see me go through the process.
Right.
Saying,
Bless you.
and once I got out, he's like, "What are you doing now?" I said, "I'm coming home." And it broke them down. But Isaac, that's why I noticed. I said, Isaac, he didn't show the emotions. Like when I got out, I didn't even know how to roll down electric windows.
Yeah, I remember that.
Wow.
We was making fun of him.
After 13 years in there?
Yeah. So I went in 88.
The world was different.
Oh, bro, we might as well been living on a ship out in the ocean for 13 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And technology and all that. Yeah, right.
88.
So again, I didn't even know. So I was having to catch up with society and seeing what was happening. When I went to a mall, man, it was like, whoa. Matter of fact, the Lloyd Center, it was almost like I was literally hearing. Now remember, I had been away from maybe a little, I can't even remember the name of the wine we used to make in there. They used to make in there. But anyway.
Pruno? Yeah.
Pruno. Okay. Pruno. Maybe I had a taste of Pruno occasionally or something, but wasn't smoking, wasn't doing any of that. So when I got out, and I remember going to the Lloyd Center, literally that atmosphere was so penetrated with advertisement, and I was literally sensitive to it because I had been away for so long.
Yep.
I was literally thinking I heard, "Come over here, buy this. Look at me." As you walk past the Macy's or whatever, literally you had this energy pulling at you to do stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'd been away from that for 13 years where you guys are somebody every day to do that.
You know the saying, in prison, the wall's your best friend. That's what Wall was my dad's best friend at the mall. He was just hugging him.
Well, you went in 88?
Yeah.
So you got 2001?
Yeah.
Okay. So you missed the whole internet era. When you came out, when you went in, people had house phones. And you came out, people had phones in their hands.
Bro, it was a shock. And let me correct. No, I had Mrs. Left and Mrs. Right.
Pamela and Fistine?
So I remember the night my dad got out of prison, it was something different, bro. Cause
yeah. You better call your mom and ask if you can talk about that.
They said, "Hey man, won't y'all go away for a little bit? It's about to get real loud here."
You better leave that alone. Now you can say what you want to. I at least warned you. Okay.
No, I'm not gonna say it. But it's we understand. We all understand. 13 years. 13 years of nothing. But left and right. We understand that. And my mama a little lady too. She's small. She's short. She's small.
And you should have saw it. You should have saw her when they first confronted her. She's like, "Huh? What are you talking about?"
Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, we heard it. It was a 2-bedroom apartment. We heard it.
Y'all heard everything.
Yes, we heard everything. I make fun of my dad all the time. 30 seconds into it, Vanessa. It was like Denzel in he got game.
Oh, you are in trouble.
Oh man, he's catching it. You should know. Smack the hell out of you, boy.
Yeah, you shouldn't have said her name, okay?
You said it was so good, you just screamed her name.
Matter of fact, on that piece, just scratch it.
That is funny.
But I tell people that because it was like, yo, those are like staple memories in my life because it's like trying to understand. I knew this was my dad.
Right.
I knew because my mom always introduced him as this is my dad. But then it was like, okay, he comes into my life and now he's living here. Like he's living with us. It was like, okay, so how do I react to this this person as my dad, and how do I be a son to my dad? I didn't know that. So that was the biggest struggle for me, is how to because I was always an awkward person. I was always quiet. Like everywhere I go, I was always quiet because I'm always soaking in environments, soaking in the atmosphere to know my place in the atmosphere. But with when my dad was like, okay, so where's my place? Because my younger brother, loud one, talked to everybody.
Yeah.
Older brother, he was pretty he was a ladies' man. He's a ladies' man. So he dealt with a lot of ladies, and he knew how to deal with them. Me, I didn't know my place as the middle child, and even with that lack of guidance from a male from what, 2 to 13?
Yeah, about a year and a half. I think it's about a year and a half, maybe 2-ish when I went in.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's still, as of now, I still find myself dealing with that, being a dad too. It's finding my place as their dad and understanding, okay, how do I communicate, and how do I make sure that I come off as a loving father versus just because I'm pretty much like, yo, we gonna all get along because we should all be getting along as a family. Me and my brothers fought. Yeah, we fought over stupid stuff, but we still, on the end of the day, this is the one story, because I really do gotta go to work. This is the one story I'll tell y'all before I got a dip. I remember being like, I think it was 8 or 9. My dad just went to prison in Texas because they relocated him to Texas. We all flew out to Texas, and 2 weeks before we flew out to Texas, me and my brother got into an altercation and a fight.
Oh.
I threw a fork at his head, and it stuck inside of his head.
Yeah, it did.
Nobody knew about it. Because we kept it close to us, because it was like, okay, it was like us 3, and we didn't want nobody to get in trouble. And I was an angry dude. So when they found out, we kind of just laughed about it because we kept it close. And my kids aren't like that when it comes to keeping shit to themselves and being close into themselves and not getting each other. And that's what I love about that's what I loved about me and my brothers, is that we kept stuff to ourselves. And my parents probably didn't know some stuff. It probably still don't know some stuff.
Y'all look out for each other.
But I think it go both ways though, because you do want your kids to be able to talk about, you know what I'm saying, like whatever is going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think it's always a good thing that you don't know. I think as a father though, we want to know that stuff, but we have to now
I think it's
assess the way that we deal with it, right?
Yeah.
It's a yin and a yang.
I got daughters, and I don't want them to ever not be able to tell me when
talk
something
with
is
you.
going on.
Oh yeah.
Especially
Right.
with daughters, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But I understand like that. I mean, my kids, they scrap it, they get into it. I might even hear it and know what they're doing. And I'm just going to ignore it. They just fighting. They whatever it's going to be.
Right.
I grew up with siblings, like we fought, you know what I mean? And it was just simple. But it's sometimes that fighting can be harmful. Sometimes, you know what I mean, what they do to each other can be harmful. So
Yes, and
I want
carries
them to be
over.
able to talk to me about, you know what I mean, what's going on. That way we can address it and it not be a thing in the future. Like,
Right.
damn, now I'm just figuring it out. I'm sorry. You know what I mean?
I made a
Didn't
mountain
know.
out of a molehill, something. You it's the end of the world. Like, no, it's really not that deep. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Let's chop it up. Let's work it out.
Yeah. I got 10. I got to go like right now.
Okay.
So
My client's at 1.
before
sure.
we leave, we haven't had this dynamic in the
16 minutes
studio
later.
before, and since I can't ask mine this, what are you most proud about?
I don't know. I go to work.
Mm.
It gonna make me cry.
Well, to be truthful, standing back and looking, and my wife and we talk about all 3 of them at various levels as much as we do with our grandkids. Probably him, and this is something he says out of his own mouth. When I ask how you doing, he's going through the waves of life. The stages of it. First not having his first spouse or wife, because I'm been married twice too. So there's a part of his experience I understand, because my first wife left me and my son and that whole thing there.
Yeah.
So I understand that. But the thing that really impresses me the most is when he's consistent with his faith. And that's always, for us, it's giving them the foundation, teaching them the basics. and then letting the Holy Spirit or such take them through the experience. And the difference between my wife and I is I'm this way with him, all my sons, because I'm a male. I'm a man. My wife is very motherly. Okay. Yeah, all that. So, but his faith is one, but two, his commitment to his children. That probably is the biggest, because right now they're at a stage very vulnerable, very kind of what we're talking about, the ins and out, the fights, the telling, the not, or whatever. But probably the third thing is making sure that he protects them as much as he feel comfortable in definitely the online influences or the media or the that influences as much as he can.
Which is different.
But to protect them from how, like I think, I used to say when I found out I had grandgirls, the first one, and that's why I even have this in my hair today, this beret is because she gave it to me for my birthday. And I told her I'd wear it until she was either married or 21, which caused me a lot of problems. Okay. So, but two, I didn't raise girls. So I remember the first time he told me, he said, Dad, you just can't, Dad, you can't treat them like this. They're not like boys. They're not like us. And it was almost like, that's true. I was so used to raising boys or being around boys, even though I've coached and I've done some things around both sexes or genders. He has a degree of sensitivity that I am really having to succumb to. And I even take some of that and have to deal with my wife with that as well. So
you was in the jungle for a long time, surrounded by a whole bunch of testosterone and random anger and violence. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but growing up in Compton, even though I wasn't a part of the gang, that side of the legacy or the history of Compton, and a lot of it is old. But I grew up around women and girls, and so I have a degree of sensitivity. But when you talk about at this age, 70, a month or so ago, and then him and my other son having kids now we have grandkids, it brings you into a whole different mindset. Yeah. But those are probably the top three things that I say I'm really proud of with him.
And everything that you said, even without me knowing everything about Ikes, I see all of those things. You know what I'm saying? So I can definitely see that. But thank you, just for being here, having that wisdom. We want to always bring this together, right?
Right.
Those different generations.
But no, I like
voices
it. I love it.
It's
different.
It was crazy growing up because, like, I don't know. I always felt like when it come to my younger brother, people thought that he was gonna be he is a public speaker still, but people thought he was gonna be the comedian. But not knowing that, like, because my dad's funny, my uncle's funny too. There's just a funniness runs in the family, and that's just what it is. Especially on my dad's side. My mom's side, they funny, but they like country funny. They like my aunt. She like Charles Barkley. Yeah, she's like a woman Charles Barkley. Yeah. She talk just like him and everything.
Don't know what's gonna come out.
Yeah, don't know at all. She's real too. She's so real. She's so real. But like, yeah. So I had no inclination to even want to be a comedian growing up.
Matter of fact, I remember when JL, he was just going into that high school. He came to me and said, Dad, we're going to have a talent show at school. I said, okay. He said, I want to be in it. I said, okay. He said, I want to be a comedian. And I looked at him. I looked at him. And I said, I don't know. And I said, I wouldn't recommend it. And I said, you can do what you want to do. But I said, I don't recommend it. It's because in my mind, I was thinking about the old school comedian. Right. The old school comedians. Oh, no. And I was looking at a few of the newer ones, but I said, I don't recommend it. And he took, quote, the wisdom. So when Isaac kind of came out of the blue, it's like, whoa, what happened here? And then kind of hearing him, I like his sense of humor. Yeah, and I do. You know, I listen to him. I follow him. But it's like, okay, I was surprised that it was him and not JL. Because he's very married, probably more than me. He has that kind of personality and just
There's a draw.
charisma.
He has that
yes,
draw.
he has that charisma.
Like I love my little brother.
Yeah,
so much, and he's just so. We all three of us are different, and it was like raising. Like I learned how to raise my kids by seeing how all three of me and my brothers were different, but you gotta but you don't necessarily cater to them differently. You just address the fact that their differences are there and you
celebrate it.
Yeah, and you go in on it. With me, I don't think with me and you, I feel like you didn't understand the differences in me and understand, okay, how do I connect with him? Because I say a lot of slick stuff to my dad. And
I can imagine that.
Yeah, and I remember hurting his feelings a couple times because he didn't understand that, okay, this quiet dude, how do I relate to him? And a lot of people have not a lot. Some people have an issue with relating to me because I am quiet, but when I do get emotional, then I'm a different person when I get emotional. When I get emotional about something, that's very serious to me, and we're going there because that's just what it is. I give people spaces to communicate and talk all the time. So when I feel like it's my turn to communicate in spaces to talk, then it's my turn to talk. And you may not like what I'm going to say, but fuck it, I'm going to say it.
I'm going to say it. I love it.
Yeah, but I'm
I know. We got to get out of here. We're finna
be there at 1 o'clock.
Right now.
1 o'clock in 4 minutes.
Before we go though, I know you are a pillar of the Gresham community, right? You do a lot. I know you have the farmers market, right? The farmers market. I know you tap in with a lot of different things.
Okay,
Just can you tell people exactly what you got going on?
Well, like today, it's the people's market, but there's a bigger vision, and what I'll do is I'll leave you guys a little information on just what we're doing to help transform Rockwood or Gresham specifically. Couple of projects. One specifically is it used to be the old Black Cat Cantina or the Sunrise Center, where there's a small group of investors that invested in 2 acres of property there. And we're really looking at how do we take that and make that representative of the diversity of Rockwood, but how do we make sure that the Black community is not left out of that legacy being built? And we have some pretty interesting investors, like Sue Dominance is one of the investors out there.
Dominican too.
I call him Sue, Dominic, Sue, and Joe. There's a number of people that's investing out there in our project. So we'd really like to have people come out there and consider being a part of the conversation of what we're doing in Rockwood at the Market Hall or downtown Rockwood, as well as the new project across the street.
Is there a number to have a seat at the table, or are you taking all investors?
Well, at this point, we're looking at definitely the community side. We have the big kind of investors, but we want it to be really community-based and community-owned. So the door is open. Like I said, I'll leave you guys some information to where when we begin to engage the community at this next level, we were talking about having a numbers studio out there and just those kinds of things. POIC is out there, Rosemary Anderson, and a number of things. So it's going to be community-based, and we're looking for support.
Okay. And that's, And so leave us information, but also we'll put information up on this thing so other people know how to support and know where to find.
Okay.
Yeah, the different opportunities, especially in Rockwood, because it is a growing community. I remember when I was younger, Rockwood was totally different than the way it looks right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's on the verge of being the next hub to what's happening in North and Northeast.
Oh, sorry. But yeah, we go get out here. Anything coming up that you want to talk to them about?
A couple of weeks, we'll be at the Doubletree Hotel by Lloyd Center for the PNMC Festival. We're going to have some of Tyler Perry's casting directors and people here. We got Bobby Yan, movie director, doing some master classes. I'll be doing a show with Ted Lang. Remember Isaac from Love Boat?
Yeah.
Blues in My Coffee. And we got a few other local playwrights who will be featuring some of their projects. Doing one with Miss Valerie Peterson. And I can't think of the name of it right now, but we'll talk about it on next week as we get closer into it.
The Love Boat.
That part.
Soon we'll be making another. Ikes.
So I'm going to Boise in like 2 weeks.
Yes.
And then I'm first co-headlining set. I'm gonna do 30 minutes.
Hey.
Turn up.
So yeah, I'm excited to do that. And then come back. Actually before that, I'm gonna be doing comedy in the park with all 7 of my kids. They're gonna be on stage.
Crazy.
Oh,
It's gonna be crazy.
that's comedy. Just
Please
bring
let us
your
know
kids.
about that.
That's
I need
dope.
to be there.
It's gonna be on the 11th of next month.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, the 11th.
Which part?
Lowerhurst Park.
Yes.
It's like 2,000 people pull up to that park.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a bunch of white people, and my kids are gonna have some fun. I just want them to have fun. If they don't, some of them not gonna talk. I just want them to have fun. I asked my daughter Journey. She's 4 years old. She the Hitler
boy.
Hey,
baby.
that's gonna be the one.
Yo,
Yes.
I was like, Journey, you nervous to perform? She's like, no.
She don't care about nobody. Now. She gonna do her thing.
She gonna do her thing.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm gonna sing some Taylor Swift, Dad.
Who found the turtle that you gave me? Who found that turtle?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn found the turtle. Okay.
Yeah, that's Brooklyn.
Yeah.
She's that kind of person. She just find random stuff
Okay.
in people.
And me, this is my birthday week, so
Yes.
it is going to be very interesting for me.
And Doe for his birthday on the 2nd.
Yes, on the 2nd, we doing Doe. I'm a headline Doe. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have some fun. But other than that, it's gonna be a blur for me this week, and I don't care who. Yeah, whatever happens. Yeah.
It's the way they do it in
We
Leo
finna
season.
have fun. It's Leo season, bro. Every season, but
They
it's
crazy, but I
really
do
Leo
party
season.
with
You
them.
going to
'cause they
Tacoma
do
too,
get it
right?
in.
Yep, be in Tacoma on the
Pro-Am?
that weekend. Yep, for the Pro-Am. Yep. So we're gonna have fun. Be out there with Bo.
Yeah.
Bo Blast. We finna have some fun up there, man.
That's what's up.
My phone ringing right now, and I don't know who calling me.
I gotta go.
I know
These
you
white people gonna be mad at me.
leave
like
They gonna
20
look at me
minutes
like this nigga hella late. Like I
He gonna mess
am.
around. He
I'm
ain't gonna have
late.
no clients messing with
I
us.
know.
Yo, but this has been Four Black Dads. Thank y'all for tapping in with
Thanks for
us.
having me.
Yeah, we're gonna have fun this week.
Everybody relax. You simply stating the fact. We
Hey,
don't like the
don't.
point of view.